So, when you see a partial fractions or partial integrals with the denominators or the numerators, the upper parts, the highest degree is greater than the lowest, that should not happen. So what you gotta do is a long division. Long division. It's basically literally a division, but with the variables. So because x to the third minus 3x squared is at the bottom, it will be here. X third minus 3x squared minus 9, like that. And then literally, as if you do the numerical division, x to the third minus 3x to the second goes in ones here, right? So I put 1, and it will be 3x minus 3x squared, and the leftover is 9, right? So what this represents is this, is 4 to the 5th, we got 1 here, right? We got 1 here. So 1, because it's minus, it'll be minus 9 over the remainder, x to the third minus 3x squared. Because I'm just telling you the basic concepts of it, in the middle of the explanation I may make mathematical mistakes, but excuse me for that. So I'll just, because this is obvious, I'll just consider this, because that's the main problem. So for us to do, let me just make the barricade, yes, for you to not get confused. So for us to organize this, we will do by 9. I'll just ignore the minus 2, okay? Because that makes our lives more simple. 9 over what? So if I factor x squared out, as you know, it will be x minus 3, right? Now, as like the video, we start that process. So because there's squared, and this is only 1, it will be a over x. I'll just write little a over x plus b over x squared plus c over x minus 3. And now, because we're getting this formula from here, this has to equal each other, right? So basically, if we do this from the numerator, if we do this, it will be, and I will multiply each term on each fractions. I will multiply these on each fractions, okay? What comes out as, if I multiply this, x cancels out, so it becomes x minus 3 plus b, and x to the squared cancels out, right? So only x minus 3. You only look at the, when you're getting this, I got this from here, the numerator, okay? And plus c, and what, x minus 3, I mean, cancels out, so only x squared, right? Equals to now what? 9, because a plus b plus c meant to equal 9, and x plus x squared plus x minus 3 meant to equal the bottom part, right? So let's go. It will be, if I simple it out, it will be so now is like the most important part and most likely going to make a mistake. So here I'll categorize each terms by squared and x and constants, okay? So ax squared, cx squared. What color? I'll go sky blue, and that, right? And then you're left alone. There you go. And now I'm gonna sort it. So excluding the x's and variables, it will be only what I'll write here for laters, a plus c, right? A plus c equals to because 9 is just constant, it doesn't have any x squared, it will be 0. And what? Minus 3a, I'm going color by color, plus b, which is x term, but on the x term there's no such thing as x term here, only 9, so it will be still 0. But now when it goes to 3b, minus 3b I mean, it will be 9. Now it's so easy to solve it. I know that you know that b will be negative 3, right? Then what's gonna be a? Yay! Wait, what? Negative 1, that was almost be 1. And it will be 1, right? Excuse me if I make mistake. I may though, I'm scared. So what should I do? Now plug back into the actual formula. So what's happening here? So I will move that to like about a here. It'll be negative 1 over what, x, and plus negative 3 over x squared plus, I'll erase this mark, plus what, 1 over x minus 3. And now you just literally do the integral, but do not forget that we have 1. To save time I just ignored it, but do not forget it. So it will be negative ln x, right? Negative ln x. Am I doing this right? I'm a little scared. I think so. If I make a mistake again, excuse me. X minus x ln 9, and because it's x negative 2, and if we integrate it, it will be negative x negative 1, so it will become positive 3x plus what, ln x minus 3 to the 4 and 5 and 4 I mean, right? So it will become what, negative ln 5 plus 3 to the 5th plus ln 5 minus 3 minus, let's go, minus ln, I hate minuses, plus 4 plus ln, yay, I love it. So this will become ln 5 and this, sorry for being messy, I'll bring these two here. So this is, because the logarithmic, should I say formula or law, ln 2 plus ln 4 will become ln 8, ln 8 minus ln 5, right? That will then become ln 8 over 5. It's like the law of, I know you know it, I bet. And then it is 3/5 minus 3/4, right? I'll just quickly write here, 3/5 minus 3/4. Because we go by 20, it will become 12, because we multiply by 4 here and 5 here. It will be 12 minus 15, which will become negative 3, that, and now it's the whole thing minus 1. Sorry for being messy again. Minus 1, and that will become ln 8 over 5 plus 3 over 20, and I hope that is correct. Let me check the answer. So this is important, so you have to check the degrees on the top and the bottom. You have to check the degrees on the top and the bottom, and if the top is greater, you use the long division. Okay, good luck.